Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Mid-Atlantic Mauling League's Chaos Cup. We're in week number 9, the final week of regulation play. We've got a doubleheader for you tonight, and tonight we are going to decide which teams from Division C and Division B are going to move on to the quarterfinals in this competition. Tonight we're going to get started with the Dinnerbell Darlings versus Odin it's Nuffle, Doug the Minotaur versus Clypheus, Dwarves versus Norse in Division C. Let's take a look at the standings before we take a look at the two teams tonight. In Division A, 4 of the top 5 teams will be making the cut to the quarterfinals. The only remaining question in this division is which 4 teams. In first place currently are the Fishy Fiends, coached by Ajax. They're a Chaos Renegades team. They are 5-1-2. They'll be making the cut. El Nuberinos, the Gutterballs, in second place. They're an Orc team. They are 5-1-2 as well. And in third place, we have the Believe. Oh, Doug the Minotaur with the sub. Yeah, I suppose they kind of do, don't they? Doug the Minotaur, thank you very much for the sub. I appreciate it. 22 months is very, very kind. Thank you for your generosity. Thanks for participating. Thanks for giving us a lot of fun to watch. In third place, BB Nuts Believe Broncos. They're a Nurgle team. They're 5-1-1. They also have 16 points. And in fourth place, JD Weddy's Blitzburg Steelers. They're a Skaven team. They're 4-3-0 with 15 points. And Galeshi's the Birds of a Feather in fifth place. An Elven Union team. They're 4-2-1 with 14 points. Very competitive division in Division A. In Division B, I would have told you just a day earlier that 2 teams have already been decided from this division, but perhaps not. In first place is Spire's Philosopher's Song. They are a Lizardman team. They are 4-2-1. They will be advancing to the quarterfinals. How, is my mic not on? Can you not hear me? Looks like you should be able to hear me. I'm going to assume you can hear me. But in second place, Chime's Conspicuous Disunion. They're a necromantic horror team. They are 2-6-0. They have 12 points. But there's one more team that can try to dethrone them, and that is the Pipstars. Technobabble Inc., my team, could conceivably do it, but they have to face Philosopher's Song this week. Probably not going to win by 4 points if they win at all, right? But look at the Pipstars. The Pipstars, they need to win by 4 points in order to dethrone Conspicuous Disunion. They are going to be up tonight against a Halfling team. If there was ever a shot to do this, this is the matchup to do it. We'll see if the Pipstars can win by 4 points to make the cut a little bit later this evening. But we're going to get started here in Division C. In first place is Moob's NC Snakes. They're a Dark Elf team. They're 6-2-0, and they will be making the cut. The Dinnerbell Darlings here had a commanding start in this competition. They went 5-0-0, lost a couple of games late in the competition. And now they have to win or draw tonight in order to make the cut. If they lose, then Odin it's Nuffle, Clypheus' team in third place, will advance. They'll take that number 2 spot. They'll advance to the quarterfinals. Dinnerbell Darlings just have to not lose. Odin it's Nuffle has to win. The home team tonight are going to be the Dwarves of the Dinnerbell Darlings. They have, what do they have? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 players on this roster. That brings their team value up to 1,235,000 gold. They have 2 runners, 1 Troll Slayer, 2 Blitzers, and a bunch of Linos, 1 Apothecary, 5 dedicated fans, 3 rerolls. They are going to... Say it like what? I didn't say it like anything. They're going to be up against the Norse team here, coached by Clypheus. Odin it's Nuffle. They have 15 players on the roster. They'll be starting with 14. The number 15 Berserker out with an injury this week, has a broken arm. Their TV is going to be 1,320,000 gold. That's 85,000 gold in petty cash. That would be going back to the Dwarves. I think that might be a Cindy. I'm just saying, it might be a Cindy. We might see Cindy Pie Whistle. I don't know. 1 Yeti, 2 Ulfwere's, 2 Valkyries, 2 Beer Boars, 1 Berserker, and a bunch of Linos. 1 Apothecary, 4 dedicated fans, 3 rerolls. How are these 2 teams going to play tonight? I think the Norse team has an uphill battle here. Not only do they have to win, they can't draw, they have to win. but this is a team that wants to remove you, right? They want to beat you up. They want to break your bones, and they want to get you off the pitch. That's what all this frenzy and all this block is really great at doing, but they're very, very fragile. They're up against dwarves whose bones just don't break so easily. So I think this roster, right, obviously you see a lot of block, a lot of frenzy. You want to get those blocks, and that means at some point you have to be in base-to-base contact, but this Dwarves team doesn't want to end their turn based by these Dwarves because the Dwarves are going to punch back. And the Dwarves are much more resilient. The Dwarves have a number of skills across their players as well. That means that if Clyphus is going to win tonight, I think it comes down to 3 things. It's going to come down to A, brilliant use, frankly, of the Yeti. Has to really find a way to get Claw into effect against these Dwarves. Get that Yeti in on the blitzes, probably blitzes, maybe even blocks, to try to remove these Dwarves from the pitch while keeping the Yeti safe. Strength 5 by himself isn't going to cut it. The Dwarves are going to stay grouped up. They're not that fast. They'll be happy to go after that Yeti. So that's going to be item number 1. Item number 2 is excellent positioning. Odin and Nuffle has to have pieces in place that make sense, that keeps them safe while still getting their blocks. And that is a tall order against this Dwarven team. And number 3, pitch control. Odin and Nuffle will have to dominate the pitch, at least in certain areas. They'll have to say, look, this is my portion of the pitch. You are not allowed here. Mine, not yours. If he can do all 3 of these things, he can't come out on top tonight. He has 2 things going for him, of course. Clypheus is a control coach. We've seen him play in a control manner, no matter the team that he's played. He's an excellent control coach. And 2, former league champion. These are 2 former league champions, in fact, going head to head here tonight. Doug the Minotaur with this Dwarven team. You know how Dwarves work. They stay grouped up. They want to punch you in the face. Lots of block across the board. In fact, all across the board, it's nothing but block. Has a couple of players with Mighty Blow. Has the Troll Slayer with Frenzy as well. This is a team that's going to stay grouped up. They're going to try to punch you. They're going to try to move a cage down pitch on offense. On defense, they're very slow. They're going to have to be a little bit careful. I think that means they probably want to go on offense first when this game starts. We'll see what Doug Minotaur decides to do. I imagine he's going to pick up Cindy Pie Whistle for 50K. If he does that, he'll almost certainly want to be on offense to start with to get to control the momentum of the drive and keep her out there for 8 turns and just start chucking bombs at these Norsemen. Very difficult matchup, I think, for this Norse team. But again, 2 former league champions head-to-head here tonight. We'll see which one comes out on top. If it's a draw, the Dinnerbell Darlings will be advancing to the the quarterfinals. Looks to be clear skies for this matchup. Dinnerbell Darlings, the home team. They have this beautiful stadium. Oh, I love Nurgle King. I always feel a little sick to my stomach when I go there, though. I'm not sure why. Signor Sleep, welcome to the stream. Signor Sleep says, I would argue that the Dwarves may not be tall enough to punch a Norseman in the face. What? The White Dwarf coaching for both teams? That's a conflict of interest. A food-based team and a drink-based team. It doesn't get better than this. Playing for the quarterfinals. He's gonna pick up a wizard instead. No sit. Wait. What just happened? What just happened? Where did he get wizard money? Dinnerbell Darlings win the coin toss here. They picked up a wizard, which is a great pick for any team. And they're going to start on defense here. So didn't pick up Cindy Pie Whistle. They're going to start on defense. Picked up that wizard. That's going to force this Norse team to play a little differently. And that can be tough when you have so much frenzy on your roster because you don't get to dictate where you go on the block. Our second game of our doubleheader this evening is scheduled for 9:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That's about 58 minutes from now. Depending on how this game plays out, we'll see this one through, or we'll kick over that second game when it starts. Second game's a Division B matchup with Dream and Wish Foundation versus the Pip Stars. Halflings versus Lizardmen. The Halfling team have been eliminated, but the Pip Stars can make the cut if they can win by 4 points. Looks to be an anchor formation here for the defense. Yes, indeed. Queso Bill, the middle linebacker. So the runner here is in green, Kevin Bacon. You have the blitzers in yellow, the lineman in orange, and the Troll Slayer in purple. Anchor formation for this defense. And now the offense is set up. 5 on the line here. The Yeti can certainly go on the line on offense. I imagine we won't see the Yeti on the line on defense, as Odin and Nuffle is going to want to keep that Yeti available to move and not marked, locked up in a mark. Claw, very, very beneficial in this matchup. It treats everybody's AV as if it's an 8+. And these dwarves have 10+ AV plus thick skulls. SP Beaver says, but if the Halflings win tonight, does that push them to 8th place? It does not. It does not. They are 7 points out of 8th. These beer boars, very brittle, very weak, but they're stunty, they have dodge, they're titchy. Everything's a 2+ for them on their dodges. They're great for getting assists, they're great for fouling as well. They also have this pick-me-up trait here at the end of your opponent's turn. Any one of your friendly pieces within 3 squares of a beer boar will get to roll a d6. On a 5+, they'll stand up for free. Of course, facilitated by the energy restoring beer in the, Gatorade in the, no, I meant beer. Beer in the keg. Spire demanding death. I think you might get it in this matchup. Turn 1 for the Dinnerbell Darlings. Here's the kick. Kevin Bacon on the kick. Oh, it's an officious ref. Who does he not like? He does not like Butch Casserole. Who does, really? Who does? Ball kick to the 14-yard line, dead center. Turn 1 now for Odin and Nuffle. Odin and Nuffle in the blue. Dinnerbell Darlings in the yellow. A push against the big Ragu into a 2-dive frenzy. Follow-up here with the rookie Ulfwerener. Number 3 here gets another push. Has to follow up on each of those blocks. Odin and Nuffle shifting the Yeti into the right tackle position just before the kickoff. Two-dive block gets Paul Funyon, gets a pal here. Thrown out Kevin Bacon would have been great. I mean, not for Doug, of course. But for the storyline, it would have been wonderful. Oh man, I'm sure everybody is just as excited as I am for the remaster. I don't know what you would call it. Redo? There's a... So my 3 favorite types of games are trader games, like hidden roll games. I like economic games, and I like trading games. So when I say hidden roll, traitor is what I meant. Trader, Trader, is another one of my, or trading, I should say. It's another one of my favorite genres. So there's a video game called, boy, I just lost my train of thought. Right, there's a video game called Wall Street Raider, WSR. It's often written as $R. It's been written by this man. He's in his 80s now, for decades at this point, I think. at least 20 years. I love this game. The game is called Work Simulator, kinda. It's basically just securities trading the game, and it's so much. Well, for me, it's so much fun. I think SP Beaver is probably right. It's probably worked to many others, but I love it. But the interface, the UI, very antiquated. So the guy who's making it is retiring, and he handed it off to someone else who redid the UI and is releasing it on Steam, and I'm super stoked. I'm very, very stoked. I know you're just as stoked as I am. Here, you know what? I'll give you a cheat code for the game. If you want to cheat in Wall Street Raider, just invest in ETFs. Just invest in mutual funds, and you'll win. Not financial advice, but probably a good idea in real life too. Am I gonna stream that? No, not unless I want a hit put out on me. Turn one now for the Darlings. Two-die block gets a pal here on number 3. I am as excited for this game as I was when Dwarf Fortress got remade. Like, I love Dwarf Fortress. "40 seconds to go here for the Dinnerbell Darlings." Currently have a 2-die block here on the number 2 Wolf Winner, Iona, over on the left side of the pitch here. Gets a pal. Wolf Winners with a average AV of 9+ rather than the 8+ that most of the other Norsemen have. Of course, these beer boars only have a 6+. The old Bacon Blitz over in the right wide zone here. Gets the knockdown, looking for an 8+ here. Got the armor break. Gets a stun out of it. Kevin Bacon on the blitz for the Darlings. Turn 2 now for Odin. It's Nuffle. Still have the ball on their own 4-yard line. Ball in the hands of Frizzia, the number 5 Valkyrie. This Valkyrie is a blodger. They have catch and pass. They also have strip ball. They're very, very good. Very, very pivotal to a Norse team. MA7 gives them speed as well. "50 seconds have gone by here for Odin and Snuffle. No action yet. They're trying to decide how they're going to get out of this conundrum. A number of marks on the line here. They can block down the line. It looks like they're going to do exactly that. They move the beer boar into position to get the block on Queso Bill to get the knockdown. I'm focused on Frizzia's leg. Look at what's happening to her leg. It's just like blinking into the ground. Frenzy follow-up here by the Yeti. Got double pals here on the big Ragu. Needs an 8+. There it is. Oh, the big Ragu is Ragon. Murdered the big Ragu. Oppo's going to be spent here. And the big Ragu's going to remain alive, but injured. Out of the game. 1-man player advantage for Odin. It's Nuffle. Has to make use of that Yeti, in my opinion. Got the removal here. Had to follow up due to Frenzy. It's very difficult to get these blocks and keep the Yeti safe. Did I block on Paul Funyon here? Gets a both standing result or a push. I imagine I'll take the push. No, he's going to take the most standing result. Wants to keep Paul Funyon locked down. El Bruno rooting for this Norse offense as they dip into the bonus clock. They have 6 minutes, 35 seconds remaining on the clock. Second Sloop says, I'm going to have to watch a replay of my game with Doug. I think the exact same thing happened with the big ragu. Happened in your game, and now he's so terrified. He kind of wheels it into... Oh! Tight cage here! Tight cage here for the Norse team. The Dinnerbell Darlings do have a wizard on deck. Decided not to spend it here. They can't quite get in on the cage. Boy, what a target. Two-die block on Constantinople. Gets a push out of this. And now the Darlings trying to pick apart this offense. Trying to spread these pieces apart. Keep them from being able to assist each other. Breaking down the formation and taking the marks. Starting to get hits. Starting to get removals. Who has shadowing? Number 10. Clive is deciding whether to shadow or not. Yeah, I don't think he wants to. Two-die block down Constantinople once again. Again, it's a push here. Constantinople's safe from blocks. Blitz still on the table, however. One die block on the number 8 lineman is a skull. Re-rolls it into a pal. The Darlings down to 2 re-rolls for the half. Elder Bruno says, more importantly, why shadowing? I have to imagine that was a random. "30 seconds to go in the turn. The Darlings still have their blitz on deck. Continue. Yeah, there's that block on the Yeti. Got the POW here. 8+ with Mighty Blow, but did not break armor. Could have broken armor if he cleaned up his dice a little bit. I mean, those were grimy dice. They're so grimy, they're probably not rolling right. Turn 3 for Odin. It's Nuffle. So they avoid... Oh, got the 50-50 stand up there. So the Yeti back on his feet. But didn't flare the blitz. So this Yeti might be out for the rest of this drive. We'll see. I think Doug the Minotaur is going to try to continue to keep this Yeti locked down and on the ground. Two-die block over in the left wide zone against a Sunday Kid. It's a knockdown. So difficult to keep a Norse team together and in formation with so much frenzy. You have to be very, very careful with your positioning. Two-die block gets Paul Funyon. This is a POW. No armor break. Another thing to keep in mind with the Norse team, all the linemen are drunkards. That means all of their rushes fail on a 1 or a 2, not just a 1. So Calafius will absolutely be avoiding rushing unless it's 100% necessary. One die frenzy follow-up into a skull against Queso Bill. He'll spend the reroll. Gets a push to keep the drive alive. Yeah, you can see just how quickly your frenzy pieces start to get picked off. That's right, SPV. Do you have a degree in math? That's correct. Yeah, they fail 1,800% of the time. That's right. I've been playing, so the new Assassin's Creed came out. Assassin's Creed, I like the series, and I decided to go back and play one I never finished. It's the 4th one, but not Assassin's Creed 4. It's part of the trilogy of Assassin's Creed 2. It's called Assassin's Creed Revelations, And in it, you can rebuild Constantinople. That's right. You even fail the Russians you don't take. That's right. You can rebuild Constantinople. You can build like doctors' offices and stuff. I built 10 banks. All right. That's how I help the community. I own 10 banks. I'm helping out the people with their financial needs by giving them an opportunity to give me their money. I feel like I'm really helping Istanbul. They could give me their, I don't remember what the unit of currency. Oh, you know what it is? It's Istan bucks. That's what it is. They can give me their Istan bucks. 2-9 blitz over on the right side here. They get the knockdown on General Custer, but no armor break. That's right. And then everyone's like, "Oh, help me! I need food," or "Oh, help me! I'm about to be stabbed." I'm like, "Look. I hear what you're saying, but I have problems too. Okay, all right. I own 10 banks. That's like having 10 jobs. All right. In fact, in the game, so you make money. You know, the more stuff you do, and the more businesses you build and stuff, and you make money every 20 minutes in real time. I am now making so much money in the game that I can't spend it by the time the next 20 minutes is over. Yep, 2-die block into a double pow on the Yeti. Didn't remove the Yeti here, but keeping that Yeti locked down, that's exactly what the Darlings want to do. 3-die blitz over on the left side of the pitch here. Gets the knockdown thanks to the tackle skill. Just 6+ is going to break armor. Good luck, various towns in Northwest England. I believe in you. Hey, yeah, that's right. Stay alive, you little beer boar. You little beer buddy. Norse team still has the ball on their own 2-yard line. Still well caged. Blitz has been spent by the Dwarven team. 2-die block against number 3. Gets the knockdown. Number 3, the Ulfwerner Lindisfarne. The Ulfwerner that took the blitz, had to follow up due to frenzy, and is now behind the defensive line. Two-die block in the left wide zone here is going to work out due to the block skill. That's why the block skill is so strong. You get an extra face on a D6 that works to your advantage. That's a significant difference. And even if your opponent has block, that face is still safe for you. So maybe you don't get the knockdown, but you don't get a turnover. So block, probably the most important skill in the game of Blood Bowl. Takes a mark on Sheppy, the number 1 Yeti, just to keep that Yeti locked down. And now Gravy Crockett, the Troll Slayer, is going to cross the line of scrimmage and apply some pressure here on the right side of the cage. Turn 4 now for Odin at Nuffle. They have to win this game to make the cut. Dinnerbell Darlings just have to not lose. That means if they win or they draw, they will advance. The minimum points required to advance are 16 points. No one's going to make that in Division B or Division C who are not in the top 2. The top 2 teams from each of the 3 divisions will make the cut, and the 2 best teams besides between the 3 divisions will make the cut. All those teams in Division A. El Marino rooting for this offense, wants to see this Norse team pull out a victory in this matchup. Again, these are 2 former league champions going head-to-head. 1-die block into a skull against Sunday Kid. Spends the reroll to get the knockdown. Down to 1 reroll for the half. I can't believe it's a one-man player advantage for the Norse team still. Two-die block against Paul Funyon gets a POW here. Can he make it a two-man player advantage on a 10+? Cannot. Took the block with the ball carrier. Ball carrier is going to remain right where they are. Scary stuff. Stand-up blitz here by the Yeti. Gets a push into a frenzy follow-up. Gets the knockdown here. Looking for the 8+, but didn't get it. Rolled snake eyes on the armor roll. Odin Snuffle back on the bonus clock here in turn number 4. The wizard's still in play. You have to be very, very mindful of that wizard. That wizard can do two things. It can cast a fireball that affects... Fireball affects a 3x3 square anywhere on the pitch. Everyone gets knocked down on a 4+. You have to make an armor roll for everyone that gets knocked down. Or they can zap a player. That affects just one player. And if that works out, they'll turn that player into a frog. The frog, of course, has no hands, so if that's the ball carrier, they'll lose the ball. Oh, good armor break! Into a stun. They'll lose the ball. You can't recover the ball. And if you knock them down as a frog, it's a guaranteed removal. So Zap can be very useful situationally, especially against teams that have one or two very, very pivotal pieces on their roster. You can try to get one off the pitch and then play to your advantage that way. Turn 4 now for the Dinnerbell Darlings. Final turn of the first quarter. 2-die block over in the left wide zone against the number 2 Ulfwerener. Iona gets a POW out of this. Segnar's Loop says, how do you knock down a frog? I guess you just kick it over. 47 seconds to go. Stand-up blitz by the Sunday Kid into double skulls against Constantinople. We'll re-roll this into a knockdown. And now, oh, got an armor break. And a removal. Got the KO. Now it's 10v10 on the pitch. One re-roll left for the Darlings now. Two-die block against the number 8 lineman. This is back at the line of scrimmage. We'll get a push out of this. Soy Rogers on the block. Taking the block with that broken arm. What a trooper. The offense has been stalled out right at the line of scrimmage. They've got no yardage in this first quarter. Second quarter is going to begin now for Odin and Snuffle. Turn 5. Clypheus, the Season 2 champion. Doug, the Minotaur, the Season 3 champion. General Custer will be pushed away. This is the number 7 blitzer here. Rookie blitzer. Dwarf blitzer is a little bit faster than the lineman. They have an MA of 5. Opens up a lane on the right side here. Moves the ball through. Frisia now going to advance the ball to the opposing 10-yard line over in the right wide zone. So there'll be at least 2 players, probably 3. There's 1, here's 2, here's the 3rd to try to protect this ball carrier. Looks like he's setting up a blitz on General Custer. Well, no, probably a Yeti block on General Custer. Yeah, there are the 3 pieces into position. Sets up the pocket around the ball carrier. Bootfather says, I love it when everyone has block minimum mayhem. 26 seconds left in the turn. Still has the beer board to maneuver. Probably wants to do that first. I don't think the beer... Oh, he's going to take a block first. I don't think the beer board is going to assist on anything, so probably wants to get the beer board either safe or in the drive. This is a team that's very, very slow. These dwarves, I mean, look at these linemen. They're only an MA of 4. That's as far as they can go. Full steam with the 2 rushes. There was the 3-die block against General Custer. Got the knockdown, no armor break. Foul on Kevin Bacon. No no armor break. Tried to take Kevin Bacon off the pitch. How dare you? Rolled a 3. And now turn 5 for the Dinnerbell Darlings. Kevin Bacon's like, you want to see a footloose? I'll show you a footloose. Get out of here. He is a lot tougher than he looks in the movies. So now the dwarves trying to run as fast as they can in this right wide zone. They're not going to get a whole lot of players over here. The problem for the Norsemen is when to score. They're in scoring position right now. If they score on turn 6, they're giving up 3 turns to the Darlings. 3-die blitz on the beer boar. Gets the knockdown thanks to the block skill. 6+ breaks armor. He got the KO. Looked like the beer board dodged that. 2-man player advantage. I'm sorry, 1-man player advantage now for the Dinnerbell Darlings. Failed the rusher. Is he going to spend the final reroll to get General So into position? I think probably not. Oh, he'll spend it. He spent it, thought it was worth it. Might be trying to force the score here on turn 5. So the problem for the Norse team is even if they could stall this out, even if the ball was perfectly safe, these dwarves are going to get 3 turns of blocks, and they could easily remove players for the second half of this game. Deciding on whether to zap or use a fireball here. Holds on to it. Just the threat of that fireball is valuable enough. Turn 6 now for Odin and Nuffle. They have 1 reroll left, 1 rush. We'll get them into the end zone. We'll see what they decide to do here. They get an assist against General So for the 2-die block. They get a push. The Slav town of Rerik gets the push. Pushes General So 1 space to the left. Glypheus really taking their time on this turn. Trying to figure out what the best course of action will be. Every turn they wait is a risk of a fireball or a zap. It's also a risk that a dwarf can get in on the ball carrier. If they score now, will that be enough time wasted on the clock so these dwarves can't score? If the Norsemen can stay relatively healthy for the second half of this game, they're up 1-0. They'll be in a much better position than the beginning of the game here to try to win. These dwarves are very slow. They don't really have a threatening passing game. So if the Norsemen are at 11 or near 11, They're in the lead in the second half. All they have to do is stay in front of the Dwarves to stop the score, and if they can do that, they will be advancing to the quarterfinals. Frenzy follow-up here by Sheepy. Gets the armor break. Gets a stun. Really wanted more than a stun out of that. Oh, is he gonna score? He is gonna score. I think that was the right call. 1-0 the score. Odin and Nuffle takes the lead in this ball game. Very well done. What is that? Are you like reeling in a fish? What is that animation? Oh no, the 2 KOs didn't come back for the second drive of the first half. So I think they were at 14, so they'll still have 11, right? 8, 9. Wait, is that 12? Why are there 12 players on the pitch? Oh, he just has 12 on the pitch. I was like, you can't do that. A celebration steeped in Norse lore, of course. So 11 on the pitch for Odin and Nuffle. I think that's 10 for the Dinnerbell Darlings. Yes, indeed. So a one-man player advantage for the Norse team. They've got 3 turns to stay alive here. And they want to stop the score. 3 turns. The Dwarves can certainly score in 3 turns. So Clypheus can't sleep on this team. Defensive line spread very wide. He's got that Yeti on the line. Let's see if he changes that up here. 4 linebackers. And of course 4 in the secondary. Why can't he have 12? Just this once. What's so wrong with that? Holy smokes. So the secondary moving up in line with the linebackers, except of course for the Beer Boar, who is the safety on the roster. Is he going to keep the Beer Boar on the roster? I think maybe so. Yeah, so he keeps the Beer Boar on the roster. Does have the Yeti as the nose tackle. So I'm not sure how effective that Yeti's going to be in this drive. But that is a lot of strength eating up mid-pitch. Midfield? Midfield. 6 on the line for the Dinnerbell Darlings currently. It'll certainly be Kevin Bacon back to receive. Kevin Bacon has sure hands. Boy, 9 on the line for the Dwarves. There is no kicker for the Norse team, so I think I don't know how fine this is. It's difficult, right? Because if this kick, I think in this case I would risk the kick into a wide zone just because these Dwarves are. What just happened? Oh, friends with the ref. All right, we'll see if anybody's going to risk the foul with the friends with the ref prayer to Nuffle in effect. Friends with the ref means if you get called for a foul and you try to argue the call, instead of needing a 6, you can succeed on a 5 or a 6. So middling kick here by the Norse, not middling, but they kicked it to center pitch here, center field to the 20-yard line. And now the block's on the line. Might be a Gravy Crockett blitz for Dauntless. I don't know. I don't know where Gravy Crockett can really get in. Darling's probably going to end the turn with a 1 die. With a 1 die on the Yeti. They do have the block skill. Blitz on the left side of the line here. They got the pal against St. Philibert, the rookie lineman. Yeah, I think maybe that's how he got his money for the wizard. Must have fired the second runner. Good 3+ pickup by Kevin Bacon. Doesn't even need his most surest of hands. Yeah, there's the 1 die on the Yeti. Gets just a push out of this. Definitely going to follow up here. He'll eat a block coming back, but wants to keep this Yeti marked if possible. Yep. Turn 7 for Odin and Snuffle. They can bring in the assist on a blitz, try to block down the line, or they can just start with the Yeti. The first order of business. First order of business is to figure out what to do with these Valkyries. Valkyrie's in danger of getting encircled by this Dwarven offense. They might step back a few spaces. They might step forward a few spaces. Repositions by Theniog to get the mark. 2-die block here on Gravy Crockett. Gets a pal. Gravy Crockett over in the right wide zone. Push back across the line of scrimmage. Follow up on the block is going to mark Paul Funyon in the just outside of the right wide zone. On the Darling Zone 2-yard line. Under a minute to go in turn 7 for Odin and Snuffle. They have 1 reroll remaining. Wizard still on the table. Two-die block over on the left side of the line. A pow on Butch Casserole, breaks armor, gets a stun. That's a pretty good stun here. Butch Casserole effectively out for the rest of the drive. Still has some movement left with the Ulfwerener. Lindisfarne repositions to get the assist on Queso Bill, the left guard on the line. And now a mark on Kevin Bacon. Frizzia the Valkyrie taking the mark. No dodge on Kevin Bacon. No rerolls left for the Dinnerbell Darlings either. 2-die block on Queso Bill will be a both standing result. Segner's Loop, thank you very much for the bits. Repositions the other Valkyrie, Francia. She's in the secondary. She shifts over into the left wide zone. 2-die block on Soy Rogers, the right guard. Gets the knockdown here by with the Yeti, I should say. And now a 2-die on Wyatt Burp will be a push. And that'll be the turn. Turn 7 coming up for the Dinnerbell Darlings. This is their penultimate turn in the half. They have the ball. Oh, uphill block on the number 3 Ulfwerener. That is going to be a null turn. So the Darlings can't score now. And now I think for Odin and Snuffle, it's about keeping players safe. Moop says Clypheus can go for a 2-0 halftime. He can, but Clypheus has to win this game. Well, it looks like he's going to do it. Looks like he's going to do it. Going to get the knockdown on Kevin Bacon. Well, he's going to try for the knockdown on Kevin Bacon, I should say. That's not going to do it. He'll spend his reroll here. Got the knockdown. We'll see where this ball ends up. 3+ on the pickup here. 3+ on the pickup. Works out. It's 2-0. Odin, it's Nuffle. Increases their lead. Very well done by Clypheus. Reel it in. Reel in the fish. Juggle them in your hands, I guess. Wow, Odin and Snuffle in really good shape now going into the second half. There's going to be one more turn in this first half unless there's a timeout. Sagnos Loop, thank you very much for the bits. Great use of the Valkyrie. Two to 0 the score now. The Dinnerbell Darlings will be on offense to start the second half. The problem is they're just so slow. It's going to be so hard for them to score 2 touchdowns. They just need 2 to tie. If they tie, they advance. And now Odin and Snuffle is going to keep players safe by setting them up by their end zone. They'll put 3 on the line. It'll be 3. I was going to call them trash players. I'm sorry, players. You guys aren't trash. You guys are great. Look at you guys. You're trying hard. You're out here playing for a playoff, the first playoff of the season. You're not trash. You're awesome. I think Doug the Minotaur are hoping, praying to Nuffle for a timeout here to try to get this ball into the end zone before the half's up. James Like Snacks, welcome to the stream. James Like Snacks demanding death. We haven't had a whole lot of casualties in this game. Just one, in fact, against the Big Ragu. That was an actual death, but the Apothecary saved his life. 3 on the line here, including that almost certainly random shadow player rather than the level 3 lineman on the right side of the defensive line. It'll be 9 on the line again for the Darlings, and Kevin Bacon back to receive. If there's a timeout, he's got to hope this ball is very short and there's a timeout. We'll see what happens. Here's the kick. That is not a short kick. That is not a short kick. There's moles under the pitch. Wow, what a kick. What a kick by Odin and Nuffle. Odin and Nuffle, if they weren't gonna rush before, they're not gonna rush now. All rushes are -1. Kick the ball all the way in the end zone. There's no hope for the Darlings to score. Well, there's no hope for the Darlings to score. So now they're gonna block down the line here. Try to get some removals. Try to set up in a better position for the second half. There's an armor break. Didn't get a removal, though. Second block against the number 8 lineman's a push. Poopah says, was that a kick? Looked like a throw. Sometimes it's a throw, yeah. The animation's a throw, I should say. Gets a pal against St. Philibert here, looking for an 8+. Didn't get it. Still has another block on the push against the number 8 lineman. Gets a pal here. 7+ breaks armor, but doesn't get it. Don't think he's going to risk the foul. He's going to pull a player back. That's going to be the blitzer, General Custer, to try to pass this ball to General Custer. Three plus pickup works out. Tried his best. Kevin Bacon tried his best to pass that ball. Didn't work out. That's the end of the half. 2-0 the score for Odin and Nuffle. They'll be on defense to start the second half of this game. They must win to advance. The Dinnerbell Darlings must win or draw. So just one KO comes back for Odin and Snuffle. They'll still have 11 on the roster, right? 8, 9, 10, 11 versus 10. So it'll be a one-man player advantage for Odin and Snuffle still. They have had, for most of this game, the player advantage. So Clypheus did a great job of keeping the team safe. Great job keeping that Yeti safe and using that Yeti to his advantage. Did lose the beer boar here. That's but he has a second beer boar on the roster. So and that's what it's there for. That's why you have the 2 beer boars. Either you want those beer boars spread out on the pitch to try to try to increase the number of players that you use pick me up with, or you have 2 on the roster because you want that fouler, you want that assist player, and when you inevitably lose one, you can bring another one out onto the field. Doug the Minotaur, of course, the current Chaos Cup champion. Fighting for his life, trying to make the cut here in Season 5. Defeated Chime in Season 4 to win the competition undefeated. Clypheus with a... was it a Brett team? Or not a Brett team, a Imperial Nobility team, I think. Finished 6th place. Odin and Nuffle with just 3 minutes 44 seconds left on the bonus clock for the rest of the game. Both teams back up to 3 rerolls. That wizard still being threatened by the Darlings. And that could be a huge advantage if the Darlings can get on the board early here. All right. Very shallow formation for the defense. All 9 on the line again for the offense. Kevin Bacon back to receive. Here's the kick. Oh, no. It's going to be a touchback. I mean, that's going into the lava. That's just going to the lava. But rolled a 3 on the D3. 6 players on the blitz. Holy moly. So when you get the blitz kickoff event, the defense rolls a D3. They get that many players plus 3 that are not marked to basically get a free turn. Electric Man says that poor boar has a bad view. No, he's underneath his legs. He sees right through his legs. Yeah, so now heavy pressure on Kevin Bacon here. Iona, the rookie Ulfwerener, over on the right side here. Bearing down on Kevin Bacon. Perhaps a Yeti blitz coming up. Yes, indeed. There it is. 2-die blitz into a push. 2-die follow-up. Got the pal. 8+ will break Queso Bill's armor, but didn't get it. Rolled a 4. So came from the inside of the line here. Didn't free up a space to move the number 3 Ulfwerener down pitch. He can still, of course, move him. He just has to spend an extra space moving around. 2 more players left to activate on the blitz. Kevin Bacon will receive the ball here, unless he's going to put it up on the line. He might just do that. Oh, Doug the Minotaur is considering this. He can get an extra 6 squares out of this. That's a full turn of movement with Kevin Bacon. Darling's on the bonus clock. This is an important decision to make. Who will get this ball on the touchback? Will it be Kevin Bacon, who has the block skill? But everybody has the block skill. Kevin Bacon is the fastest on the team with an MA of 6. But you can see on the right side of the line here, General Custer, with the MA of 5, puts the ball in the hands of General Custer. Let's go. We've got a game going. I think this was the right call. Segner's Loop, thank you very much for the bits. Move says, I got to give it to the blitzer on the right and push forward ASAP, I think. Need to score fast. I agree. I think that was the right call. A push on the nose tackle. Turn 9 underway. The Darlings with a fireball with 3 rerolls. They have the ball in the hands of General Custer just inside the right wide zone on the line of scrimmage. Two-die block by Gravy Crockett. That's the frenzy player with Mighty Blow. Didn't break armor. Did need the follow-up block. Frees up General Custer. Now the goal is to keep General Custer safe. It's about where are your protective players going to go, and then consequently, where can General Custer go as well? The Darlings need 2 touchdowns right now. They need a draw or a win in order to advance. They take a mark. Here's the blitz. 2-die blitz with General Custer. They get a push out of this. This is the ball carrier who will not follow up. Is he going to move forward or is he going to move backward? He's going to move backward. I think that is the safer place to be. So ends up getting no real movement out of this by putting the ball into the hands of General Custer. In fact, if anything, he's lost some yardage. But if you consider the ball being in the hands of Kevin Bacon, this is about where it would have been. 2-die block on the left side of the pitch here gets a push. And now 1-die on the Yeti. Again, I think that's a good block to take. You have the block skill. The Yeti, a very important piece for this Norse team. They treat your very, very strong Dwarven armor as if it's Wood Elf armor. Turn 9 now for Odin and Snuffle. Comfortably in the lead so far with a 2-0 lead, but they cannot rest on their laurels here. They have to still keep playing to win. They can't let this Dwarven team score too early. Really don't want them to score at all. And threaten the win that Odin and Snuffle fought so hard to try to secure in the first half of this game. Frenzy follow-up here against Gravy Crockett. Can't knock down the mighty Troll Slayer. He'll stay on his feet. Secular Sloop says, I'm pretty sure Kevin Bacon demanded the ball. He said, hey, I'm coming to you. Give me the ball. That's how Kevin Bacon talks. Give me the ball. He talks like he works for Orange County Choppers. Hey! What are you doing with the ball? Give me the ball! "40 seconds to go now for Odin and Snuffle. Commanding lead for this North team, but I still think there are, I think on paper, by on paper I mean comparing the two teams' rosters, I think they're on the back foot here. But Clyphus has just been doing such a good job of controlling pitch, of keeping players safe, and still getting his blocks. But what that really means is if failed the Unchanneled Fury roll on the Yeti, so he'll stay put. If Doug the Minotaur could say make 3 mistakes, Odin and Snuffle really can't make. Maybe they can make 1 mistake, right? That's really the difference on paper. Strip ball blitz here by Francia. Gets the ball out of the hands of General Custer. The ball's going to bounce 1 space to the right. That's not where Odin and Snuffle wants that ball to be. Has a target of 5 people in the fireball now. I don't know if he's going to take that here or not. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Still going to hang on to the fireball here. Now turn 10 for the Darlings. Every turn that passes, every turn that goes by, and the Darlings don't score, makes it that much harder for the Darlings to come out of this making the cut. Well, that's not a good start. A one tie into a skull, spends a reroll, gets a push on Iona. Frees up General Custer. It was Kevin Bacon on the block. And now a 2-die over in the left wide zone. This will be a knockdown. .50 seconds on the clock here for the Darlings. Very tough for this Dwarven team. They've got to score quickly, and they're just not a fast team. So Doug really has to find a way to secure sections of the pitch long enough to keep the ball carrier moving forward. He has to set up a pocket, get the ball into the pocket, be safe for a turn. Reset that pocket next turn, move the ball forward with the pocket, be safe for another turn. Has to do that for at least 3 turns. And by that point, we're in the 4th quarter. This is going to be a real nail-biter for this Dwarven team if they can pull it off. Has to spend the reroll here as well. Oh, no. Oh, no. Didn't spend the reroll on the pickup. Held on to the reroll. The ball's going to bounce to the left side here. Now the ball's on the ground just outside the left wide zone on the 4-yard line, marked by Francia. And a number of dwarves, a gaggle of dwarves. This might be a good situation for the Dwarves to get into a scrum and recover the ball, but that's going to take so much time. 2-die block in the right wide zone here against Paul Funyon. Gets a push. I got to stop rocking away from the mic. Under a minute now for Odin and Nuffle. All they have to do is eat up time. There is another strategic consideration for this Norse team as well. Game-wise, they want to win, of course, to make the cut. But if that requires putting lots of players at risk, they could be in real trouble in the quarterfinals. So Clypheus really needs to... Oh, is he going to push onto the ball? Pushing on the ball, hoping for a good... hoping for a good bounce. So far, it's looking good. Well, I don't think he's going to spin the reroll here. All right, the ball's going to bounce to the 2. It's on the Dinnerbell Darlings 2-yard line, just inside the right wide zone now. So even if Odin and Nuffle comes out ahead and wins this game, the cost is going to be a real consideration going into the quarterfinals. Failed the rush by the number 3 Wolf Pointer. Spends a reroll, gets the POW, knocks down General So, and is marking General Custer. Fails the 50-50 unchanneled Fury roll. Trying to reposition this this Yeti. If the Yeti's not blocking or blitzing, then it's a 50-50. Otherwise, it's 2+. Clears the ball now. Segner's Loop says she won't grab the ball and run away from the Dwarves. That would just be mean. Looks like she's not going to. Looks like she's not going to. So takes another mark on the ball. And looks like it's going to be Frizia who tries to recover. Not on a skull. Not on a skull. Turn 11 for the Dinnerbell Darlings. Turn 3 of the half. The Darlings are not across the line of scrimmage. Oh, boy. Such a scary position to be in. Everyone likes to talk about how strong Dwarves are. And indeed they are, but when it comes down to trying to score, if they need to do it quickly, that is just a tall order. Well, no pun intended. it's a tall order. It's the armor break here. Gets a stun. Let's see if he can convert on the stun or not. I don't think Dr. Minotaur will be able to. We'll do a high five, Segnor's loop. A little over 30 seconds left in the turn here for the Darlings. Desperately trying to find a way to get this ball. It's just so covered in Norsemen. Two-die block in the left wide zone. Gets a push out of this. Alt Crud with the Fen skill means that can force the Sunday Kid not to follow up, and indeed uses the skill. Still marked by Queso Bill, but now not an automatic 2-die. Ah! Oh no! Pushes onto the ball on the block. And the Slav down of Rarik says, "Don't worry, I got you. I got you. Here's the blitz. Gonna get the blitz on the ball carrier. Is it gonna be a knockdown? It is gonna be a knockdown. Where's the ball gonna bounce? Oh no! It is now across the line of scrimmage to the opposing 4-yard line. Paul Funyon marking the ball. 2-die block by Paul Funyon. Gets a pal. Breaks the armor of the beer board. Gets a stun. Oh, man. Turn 11 now for Odin. It's Nuffle. Double skulls. Has to spend a reroll. Oh, just gets a push on Paul Funyon. Just gets a push on Paul Funyon. So it's marked out Paul Funyon from the ball, at least temporarily. Odin and Nuffle fighting very, very aggressively to keep this ball locked down. Not so trusty Patches, welcome to the stream. Our second game this evening will be Halflings versus Lizards. The Pip Stars need to win by 4 in order to make the cut. We'll see if they can pull it off right after this game. 2-die block on General Soul. Gets a pow here. The Dwarves getting picked off as they had to take risks and they've had to move, but they are not a team that moves. Dinnerbell Darling still holding on to that wizard too. Good 3+ pickup by Frizia. Ball recovered by the defense here. Odin and Nuffle in possession on their own 4-yard line. They're in the lead 2-0. Did they just run away? Not so trusty Patches says that's a seriously painted pitch. It is. There's only been one cast so far though. And in fact, it was a death that the Oppo turned into an injury. Yeah, I think he just runs away. So runs the ball back all the way to his own 2018 16-yard line. Soy Rogers can't quite get to the ball carrier. Can mark the ball carrier, but can't take the blitz. 2-die block with Gravy Crockett gets a push out of this. This is Frenzy follow-up, gets the knockdown here. 7+ breaks armor. Gets a KO. Good removal here. It's now 10v10 on the pitch. This frees up Soy Rogers to take a mark on the ball carrier, but it's 2 rushes. Failed. Failed the rush. Oh boy, spent the reroll down to 1 reroll for the Darlings. The ball's on the pitch where they want it to be, but not in the hands of who they want it to be. SB Beaver with the emergency rush warning. Thank you very much for the bits. I appreciate it. Two-die block back over the right wide zone. Gets a push out of this. Here they come. Here come the dwarves. Doug the Minotaur will try everything in his power to try to keep this ball somewhere close to where it is. 2-die uphill on the Yeti. Drive's going to stay alive here on the push. I think Doug the Minotaur needs to get some prayers into Nuffle. Yeah, so that's what he's got 3 players now trying. Failed the other rush. The other rush. Oh, the emergency rush warning. It was there. SP Beaver warned you. Warned you. Oh boy, spent the final reroll here on the rush. Failed it on the Snake Eyes. Yeah, it was Snake Eyes. And uses the fireball on Frisia, but she remains standing. Turn 12 for Odin, it's Nuffle. A last-ditch effort to knock the ball out of the hands of the ball carrier. And now a surf on the right side. Oh my goodness. The Dinnerbell Darlings running out of time. Just 4 turns left to get 2 touchdowns. SB Beaver says, why the fireball and not the frog? I'm not sure. I'm not sure because the frog, that would have been a 3+. And it would have knocked the ball out of the hands of Frisia. And Frisia would have been done. Boot Polish says, gotta pre-select it, right? I remember you had to in an earlier version of the game. I don't know if you still do or not. That may have been it. That may have been it. Yeah, the zap. So the fireball is a 3x3 square, a grid. It's a 4+ on everyone, friend or foe. And on that 4+, you have to roll an armor break. Zap is just a single player in a single space. And you roll their strength. You have to meet or beat their strength. So in the case of Frisia here, that's a 3. So a 3+ would have turned Frisia into a frog for the remainder of the drive. And then if Doug were able to knock down the frog, that's an instant removal. The frog also has no hands, so the frog would have dropped the ball. Boot Polish says, Boot Polish says, I'll be sad if I make it to the finals and don't lose to Doug by kicks. I don't believe you. So a very, very commanding first half here by Odin and Snuffle to take the lead 2-0 at the half. Odin and Snuffle needs to win to advance to the quarterfinals. And it looks like that's going to happen. Turn 13, final quarter of play underway here for the Darlings. Can they make a miracle happen? We've seen Doug take a dwarf team and do a full 26 space touchdown in a single turn before. SB Beaver, thank you very much for the bits. A miracle on granite. That's right. That's right. The 2025 dwarf team, miracle on granite. They need 2 touchdowns in 4 turns in order to make the cut. $50 seconds left on the clock for the Darlings. They've got to take risks. They've got to take risks. I mean, that's the only option left. The mark for the 2-die block against the number 10 lineman gets the knockdown here. Just to the right side of the ball carrier. The Valkyrie looks majestic standing in the Fireball Scorch Mark. Oh, just 3 turns left. It is not looking good for the Darlings. I don't see how they're going to pull this off. We'll see if Doug the Minotaur has something in mind out of resources other than the bonus clock. They're at 4 minutes, 38 seconds. Spent the Fireball, or spent the Wizard, rather. Spent their rerolls. It's 9v9 on the pitch. 2-die block against Soy Rogers. Gets a push here. Move says, technically it's not over, but the Clyfish should now start thinking about player safety over anything else, like I didn't do. Yeah, so that's what we were talking about a few turns ago. Strategically, Clyfish makes the cut here to the quarterfinals, and it looks like they will. Then the next thing they have to be thinking about right now, here in turn 13, is how do I keep my players safe? Because I've got another game to play. I've got 3 more games to play potentially. So how do I keep my players safe? I don't need to take risks to win this game, it seems. But I need to make sure that I'm in tip-top shape. I'm maximally effectual for the quarterfinals. So we may see a shift in strategy here for Odin and Nuffle. SB Beaver says player safety. That sounds like union talk. I'll have you know, SB Beaver, in my other favorite economic game, Capitalism Lab, or Cap Lab, I hire union workers in all my companies. That's right. And we do great. We do very well. Frenzy follow-up for another surf here, but it's not gonna get it. Spends the reroll here into Pal. There it is. Hoopla says, what about real life? No, there's no unions really. But I certainly wouldn't be opposed to it. Three plus pass. Oh, get out of town. The pass by Frisia to Francia. Good pass here by Odin. It's Nuffle, and they're going to run this ball down the right wide zone. Holy moly. They're now on the opposing 14-yard line. And here comes the beer boar to keep the players safe. The brave little beer boar. The various Mediterranean isles. Very well done here by Clyfius on the 3+ pass to get this ball down pitch. 14 spaces. 3-die blitz on the beer board. Gets a pal here. 5+ breaks armor. No! 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 Various Mediterranean Isles! No! Oh. You did nothing to deserve this. You deserved a better life. You carried a keg of beer to all who were parched. And this is the thanks you get. No, Segnor's Loop, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He's gone to the wintry Norse Islands down south. Oh. Oh, no. Boy, oh boy. Oh, no. He's gone to the pitch upstate. That's right, Postmodernism. Welcome to the stream. Segnor's Loop, no. Segnor's Loop, buddy. Buddy, I'm sorry. Here, listen. So, various Mediterranean Isles got into a little accident. Unfortunately, he won't be coming back home. He's gone to a better place now. A place that is cold all the time. And you know what? He doesn't have to carry the beer anymore. The beer is carried to him. Oh, and it's Nuffle. Really nothing to do here but just score and make this a 3-0 ball game, and that'll be it. 3-0. Odin and Nuffle increases their lead. There is nothing reasonable that the Dinnerbell Darlings can do at this point. I think we'll just cut it short here and kick over into the second game, since the Pipstars still have an opportunity to make the cut. 2 turns left. Very, very well played by both coaches. Again, on paper, I think this Norse team really had to play a very good game, and Odin and Nuffle did exactly that. They were able to keep their players safe, take the blocks they needed to take, score when they could, keep the ball out of the hands of this Dwarf team. Just a very, very good game. Again, these are 2 former league champions, so very well played by both coaches. But Odin and Nuffle, unless something dramatic happens in these 2 turns that we're not going to see, Odin and Nuffle's going to advance to the quarterfinals. Congratulations to Clypheus. We'll see what the kickoff event is before we kick over to the other game.